You think you got married the day you signed that paper? Nah. The real wedding happened way before that. Because marriage doesn't start with a ceremony. It starts with a mindset. Before the dress, before the license, before anybody says, I do. Marriage begins when two people make a spiritual decision to build, commit, protect, and grow as one. You can be married in your mind and single on paper. And you can be married on paper and single in your heart. Let's talk about it. What marriage used to be. Long before governments, churches, and courtrooms, marriage wasn't a contract. It was a covenant. In ancient African tribes, Hebrew tradition, and indigenous cultures, marriage was sacred. But it was private, a vow between two souls, witnessed by family, sealed in spirit. There was no judge, no officiant, no paperwork, because no one owned the bond but the people inside it. The power didn't come from law. It came from intention. Two people chose each other, for life, for legacy, for alignment. But around 1215 AD, that changed. The Roman Catholic Church, under Pope Innocent III, made marriage an official sacrament. And for the first time in history, you needed a priest's approval to make it valid. Why? Because the church wanted control of inheritance, of bloodlines, of sin. If the church couldn't bless it, it didn't count. And just like that, something spiritual became religious property. In 1753, the Marriage Act in England made things even more official. Now you needed a license from the government, not to love, but to legally claim who you loved. That law spread everywhere, including the U.S., and suddenly your relationship was no longer between you, your partner, and God. It was between you, the county clerk, and the IRS. Marriage became a contract, not a covenant, not a connection. A contract that could be taxed, revoked, monitored, and weaponized. Then it got uglier. In 1664, Maryland passed the first miscegenation law, making it illegal for black and white people to marry. By the 20th century, over 30 states had banned interracial marriage altogether. Then came Loving versus Virginia in 1967. The Supreme Court ruled that laws banning interracial marriage violated the 14th Amendment. Imagine that. It took until 1967 for the U.S. to say, you have the right to marry someone, even if they don't look like you. That means your grandparents may have seen love go to prison, just for crossing the color line. So let's be honest, what most people call marriage today is a system, a ritual we inherited from colonizers, courts, and clergy. We call it love, but most of it is structure, enforced by contracts, defined by benefits, and broken by loopholes. People fight in courtrooms for custody, pay lawyers to define love in numbers, and lose everything in a game they didn't even know they were playing. Not because they failed love, but because they trusted the system more than the spirit. So what is real marriage? Real marriage is a mental agreement before it's ever a legal one. It's two people choosing each other, with full awareness. No loopholes, no hidden terms. You don't marry somebody when you say, I do. You marry them the moment you decide, I will. I will choose you when it's hard. I will see your soul before I see your flaws. I will build, protect, and evolve with you, because your growth is mine too. That's marriage. It ain't the day you show up in front of a crowd. It's the moment you show up in your consciousness. You don't need a license to be loyal. You don't need a court to be committed. Because when your mind is married, no law can make you more together, and no court can tear you apart. Real marriage doesn't begin at the altar. It begins in awareness. And once your mind is committed, the paper just becomes a formality. This is the quote room, where words wake minds. Some things don't need a reaction, just reflection. Just a few thoughts I had on my mind.